Hello, welcome to the electronic home workshop. As you can see, this is the theory aspect. In this video, we are going to talk about NP circuit. The NP circuit. What I mean by the NP circuit, that is N is the N type transistor and P is the P type transistor. We already know that the N-type transistor is the PNP transistor and the P-type transistor is the NPN transistor. And both transistors here work differently. If you want to switch on the N transistor, the N-type transistor, you should take out a base voltage to the negative terminal of the power source. And if you want to switch on this P-type transistor, you will input a base voltage in order to switch on the P-type transistor. Now, if you have a transistor here, this is the N-type transistor. We have the collector here, we have the emitter here, and then we have the base here. And then we also have another transistor here, which is the N, which is the P type. We have the collector, we have the emitter, and then we have the base here. Now, what I mean exactly the NP circuit here is that you have to connect the N-type transistor and the P-type transistor in line or in series, so that when you apply a voltage here, the voltage will directly come to the emitter of the P-type transistor without no adjustment. It will be an automatic. The moment you switch on a current to the collector of this N-type transistor, the current will travel directly from this point to the collector of the P-type transistor to the emitter and then to the negative terminal of the battery. And this is the positive terminal of the power source. Now, how to connect this circuit in a line or in series? Now, we know that the N-type transistor, if you want to switch this transistor, the N-type transistor, a base voltage should be taken out to the negative terminal. And if you want to actually switch on this P-type transistor, a base voltage should be input. You have to input a base voltage here. Here you have to take out a base voltage to the negative. Here you have to input a base voltage to the negative. Now, if you want to take a base voltage out of here to the negative, you already have another transistor here, because both transistors should be connected together, and this is not going to connect directly to the negative. It is going to pass through the other transistor, this P transistor, to the negative. Now, if you want to take a voltage out of this transistor, the P-type transistor, to the negative here, you have to connect the base of this N-type transistor to the collector of this P-type transistor. But this P-type transistor, the collector emitter junction is actually closed. There is a blockage here. So if you want to take the base voltage to the negative path here, this transistor is going to block this base voltage from coming to the negative terminal of the battery, because when the current travel the base voltage here travel to the negative terminal of the battery, then this will cause this N-type transistor to be switched on, but there is a blockage here. So what we will do too is to input a base voltage to this P-type transistor. Now, how to input a base voltage to this PN transistor? You do not have to take a special voltage from here. If you do that, you have not connected these both transistor in line. You have to connect them in line in such a way that both lead, all the three leads of each capacitor of each transistor are connected to each other. Now, if you want to input a base voltage from this transistor, where do you think, if this transistor is switched on, where do you think the voltage is going to come out of? Now, if you apply a voltage here and this transistor is on, the voltage is going to pass through the collector emitter junctions of this transistor and out of the emitter. Now, if a current is going to flow in this way here, this will travel to the negative. So what you will do, you will now connect it this way. This will come directly to the base here. So now if the base voltage is moving in this direction, you have to take out the base voltage. The base voltage will now come here, but it will not go through this P-type transistor to the negative because there is no base voltage. But since you have now connected this base voltage of the P-type transistor, the voltage is going to move from the collector of this N-type transistor moving into this direction and give the P-type transistor a base voltage. So this will now switch on this transistor, and therefore now the base voltage will now move from this point to the collector of this P-type transistor, to the collector of the P-type transistor, and then pass through the junction and then to the emitter of the P-type transistor and then go to the negative. So that will also cause these transistors to be switched on. And now if this transistor also is switched on, the voltage will pass from this collector of this N-type transistor into the junction here and then to the emitter, and this will move, the voltage will move this actually to input a base voltage here. And when it inputs a base voltage here, this transistor is going to be switched on, and when it's switched on, the base voltage should be now moving in this direction to the negative. This is just working in such a way that this transistor is going to control the base voltage of this P-type transistor, as well as the P-type transistor is going to control the base voltage of this N transistor. If there is no voltage here, the whole circuit will be switched off automatically. And also, if this voltage, the base voltage here, is not connected to the negative, it's not traveling past through this P transistor type to the negative, the whole circuit is going to be off. For instance, if we apply 3 milliamp current here, or voltage here, let's say the voltage here, this voltage is going to travel here because there is a base voltage coming out. Now the base voltage is going to come this way to this point. Because there is a base voltage here, it will still move this into this direction to the negative. And when that happens, there is also going to be a voltage moving into this direction, meaning the transistor will be switched on. And this voltage that is flowing here will be used to input a base voltage here. When there is a base voltage here, then this transistor, the p-type transistor, will be switched on, and now a voltage will move from the collector to the collector emitter junctions of this transistor, and then move to the emitter here, then back to the negative. So this is actually the p-type circuit. That is how to connect the PNP transistor and the NPN transistor in line, so that when you apply a voltage here, the voltage will automatically move from the N-type transistor direct to the P-type transistor to the negative. That is how to build an NP circuit. In this NP circuit, you can use it to create a time delay circuit. You can also use this circuit to actually create um a time. You can also use it to create a flashing light circuit, and you can also use it to also create an electronic switches. There are more uses of this type of circuit. Actually, you can also use this type of circuit to create or to build a time delay multivibrator circuit. So thank you very much for your audience. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please share the video. In the next video, we are going to talk about the practical aspect of this circuit. You will actually see how this circuit is going to work practically. You will see the practical um, um, actions of this video and then you will know that the explanation actually is exactly happening as it was explained here. So thank you very much for your audience. Please wait and see the practical aspect, and then you will confirm the explanation we have made here. So thank you very much once more again.